Good evening. Today we shall be discussing the book 2 of the second sex. And in the book 2 of second sex, we have the chapter 12, The Woman in Love. Now, the woman in love is a very different kind of one, and it is gives a different flavor to the readers of the second sex. Beauvoir talks a lot about love and how does love play a significant role in the psyche, in the psychological development, in the social and the cultural development of a woman, and how is a woman connected to the man whenever she is in love with, and what particularly happens when she is in love. Now, Beauvoir begins with a kind of a comparison. Beauvoir starts with how does the word love, the passion love, plays a significant role in case of a woman and in case of a man. Now, she is speaking that love is something that has a two different kind of effects. In case of a man and in case of a woman, it has two different kind of impacts. And she goes on quoting Byron, the very famous quote by Byron, "Man's love of man's life a thing apart. It is woman's whole existence." So Beauvoir probably giving emphasis on the very famous quote of Byron that on the part of a woman when she is in love, it is something that she loves with all her identity, psychologically, mentally, with all the passion, emotion, with all existence that she has, she starts loving. And very soon, Beauvoir takes us to that ideas of Nietzsche, and she quotes from Nietzsche's The Gay Science. Once again, the very same sort of opinion that we find in Nietzsche's The Gay Science. When a woman is in love, what we find in that case, it is a total gift of body and the soul that a woman offers, that a woman actually gets assimilated. She gives her whole entity when she is in love. Both the body and the soul gets intertwined. And there is no reservation at all on the part of a woman. And in this chapter, Woman in Love, Beauvoir goes on comparing the position of man and the position of woman. Now, in case of a man, Beauvoir makes the statement that a man can be a quote-unquote passionate lover, no doubt. But it is very difficult for a man to be a great lover. It seems to us, we the readers, that the particular position to be a great lover probably is only to be in the case of a woman. It seems that they can only be the great lover because to them love is something, a sort of devotion in which they dedicate their whole entity. Now, Beauvoir also very categorically points out that think of a man who is on his knees in front of his beloved or the mistress. Whatever the position is, he may apparently be seen very submissive in nature while he is in front of his mistress. But what actually he expects from her, what the ultimate goal of the man is nothing but he wants possession of her. That possession is the ultimate goal, according to Beauvoir, that a man seeks. Man actually, Beauvoir says, again I quote Beauvoir here, he wants to be sovereign. Now, such kind of comparison goes on. But it is not only the comparison that Beauvoir presents here. Beauvoir very psychologically situates the position of woman. Now, on the part of woman, Beauvoir emphasizes that when a woman is in love, she relinquishes everything. And to support her statement, Beauvoir quotes from Cecil Sabuj. Now, Sabuj was there to comment. I quote Sabuj from Beauvoir's text. Woman must forget her own personality when she is in love. So somehow, Beauvoir also would like to point out that when a woman is in love, she forgets about her own personality. And Beauvoir is saying that, or supporting Sabuj's comment, that it is the law of the nature. It is something that is very much in nature, that when a woman is in love, she relinquishes everything, even her own identity. But another interesting thing that I have pointed out while reading this particular section of the second sex, that continuously Beauvoir and Sabuj, they are referring to the word master. It seems that when a woman is in love, she rejects everything that I was saying just few minutes before, that she rejects everything, even her own identity, and she is very much submissive to the master. So this use of the word master is very problematic, I must say, because it seems that somehow, is it that very psychology on the part of the woman that they have already started thinking that their male counterpart with whom she is in love, she is no other than a master, and she is totally controlled, operated by her, by that master. So this use of the word master needs deeper, significant discussion. Sabuj is also found to comment, without a master, she is a scattered bouquet. Now, why is it so? But this kind of discussion, it doesn't continue more. Rather, Beauvoir goes to that elaborate psychological parameter of an individual, and here it is in the case of a woman. And we have to admit that Beauvoir is at her best in this discussion that she elaborates in Woman in Love. Now, Beauvoir speaks of the idea of happiness. I quote Beauvoir from the text. The supreme happiness of the woman in love is to be recognized by the loved man as a part of himself. So when a woman starts loving her beloved, she gradually starts thinking that she is becoming a part of that male counterpart. And when the man says we, she is associated and identified with him. She shares his prestige and reigns with him over the rest of the world. So this is the very best moment, according to Beauvoir, on the part of a woman, that the moment the man starts thinking not as an I, rather we, it is the best ever moment on the part of a woman. Now this happiness continues. And Beauvoir goes beyond that limitations of man and woman often. Beauvoir talks of that supreme goal of human love. Irrespective of gender, Beauvoir would like to go beyond. What is the supreme goal that she would like to talk about human love? And this one is the identification with the loved ones. And it happens in the case of a woman. Beauvoir says in a particular section of this chapter, the woman in love tries to see with his eyes. So, she gradually starts seeing through his eyes. She reads the book he reads. She prefers the pictures and the music he prefers. And Beauvoir takes a very significant and opposite comment here at this particular stage, that's what we see in case of Wuthering Heights, where the character Catherine declares, I am Heathcliff. So, when Catherine herself is declaring that she is Heathcliff, it is something that talks a lot about deeper psychological condition that a woman is in. Beauvoir is of the opinion that this cry that a woman feels within, this is that perennial cry of a woman, of an individual, a woman who is in love. She is in another incarnation. The moment she is in love, she is in another incarnation. And she becomes, quote unquote, his reflection, his double. She is he. She is he, obviously, the important observation here in this chapter. Now, Beauvoir also talks about the idea of waiting. A woman is in love, waits for her lover. And waiting is, of course, a very moment of happiness, moment of enthrallment, moments of joy. I quote Beauvoir rather. Waiting can be a joy to the woman who watches for her beloved in the knowledge that he is hastening towards her, that he loves her. The wait is a dazzling promise. So that the woman, when she starts thinking that someone is coming to her, someone who is in love with her, it is a dazzling experience. You know, it is something that gives her an optimum pleasure in the mind. But at the same time, it is that very moment that also talks about insecurity. The sense of insecurity is optimum in case of a woman or a woman who is in love. Now, Beauvoir talks about a woman who was personally known to her, and every time when that woman's beloved used to come to her, the woman had that very astonishing remark, I thought you wouldn't come back anymore. So this expectation, this a bit trauma, I think, that a woman in love often experiences, that the man with whom she is in love, she wouldn't come back. It is very perfectly pointed out by Beauvoir at this particular stage. Now, Beauvoir talks a lot about the different conditions and different situations that the man and the woman binary, and it is on that particular issue of falling in love and their responses in both the ends. It is different, but it is something very perennial. It is something that is very uncommon that is found in the case of a woman. Now, she ends the chapter saying a very brilliant thought, and this one is genuine love. Now, genuine love, it should be, according to Beauvoir, it should be founded on mutual recognition. Mutual recognition of liberties. Love can, give liberty. Love can ennoble the heart. I quote Beauvoir, the lovers would then experience themselves both as self and as other. Neither would give up transcendence. Neither would be mutilated. Together, they would manifest values and aims in the world. So, love should not be one-sided. It should be from the both ends, and then only a mutual liberty can be enjoyed. Thank you so much.